Well, hello, this is Lezlee Liljenberg, and John and I are here together, and we serve on the NAPA Board of Directors. We recently had our national board meeting. I think we mentioned that in our last class, our little training session. But in that meeting, our main goal is to help all state agents be successful, and as well give you tools, easy and fun and quick, to help train your staff. So, John, good to see you again.
Well, it's good to see you, Lezlee. And it's so true when we talk about training. We produce some topics that we feel are really important in the day-to-day running of the operations of agencies. So you and I volunteered to tackle E&O and give some great case scenarios. So let's get started and see if we can help agents.
I'm not sure we volunteered. We just may have said, they just said, go do it. But I am passionate about E&O because you just see so many things. I think that so many things are changing with the agencies. We know that. We don't try to get into the negative of that. We're just trying to make an opportunity for people to get through some of these tougher issues. But I want to read, okay, so I have to take my script down. We were laughing about it, but I'm going to read errors and omissions. We did this last time, but I want to reiterate the definition. It is a form of professional liability insurance. It's designed to protect employees and employers against clients' claims of negligence or inadequate work, which we know that can happen or be threatened of being happening every day. E&O policies usually cover legal costs associated with the claim, and most for all of the ensuing settlements through a policy may not cover the entire settlement. So there are things that exceed the limits at times, but we just, it's just in our industry, we need to be more aware of it. And I always noticed in our agencies that we bring it up, but it just didn't really come full. There was just not a full understanding, not just for staff, but for the agency as well as the severity. So, so John, as an agency owner, we've both been there, and we're both really entrenched still in the industry. What are some of the areas that you think that agents should be more aware of that could open them up for an E&O claim against them? Well,
I'm kind of a numbers guy. So I have researched some of the statistics of E&O that I thought the agent should know about. First off, 24% of claims are due to failure to procure coverage or to procure the appropriate coverage.
Well, and that's a good one, because I think that word procurement, it's like, well, what do you mean by procurement? What's we don't procure. Well, you do, and I can confirm that the majority, that percentage, that statistic that you just gave us, is so true, because most of the cases now that I work on it as an expert witness, most of the cases that I see come through with complaints are, we asked for it, you didn't get it, or you didn't give us options.
Yeah, that can happen so easily, Lezlee, but procurement is the act of obtaining or purchasing something. So in the insurance instance, when a customer has asked you to procure or add coverage for them, we need to make sure that that's handled right. And an example may be someone gets an engagement ring and they want to put that on the policy to procure coverage for that ring. So it's very important to price this for them and follow up about adding the scheduled personal property coverage to the policy. And if they decide that they do not want that coverage, it's very important that we document that and let them know exactly what coverage is for that ring.
Well, and that's a great example, because, someone's bought this expensive ring. They're already in sticker shock, right? With the ring and the wedding. And then all of a sudden they say, wow, it's going to be $200 more, which isn't really that much money. But at the same time, they've got all these things going on in their lives. And it's very easy for them to get distracted. Even though they've called and they've asked, it's easy for them to get distracted. And we know that ring could go missing the next week. Maybe she's not used to wearing it. She's taking it off and on. And so it gets left somewhere even. So it is really important. And like you said, if they don't want the coverage, at least you've presented it. And now it's on them to make the decision, but document is what we always say, right?
Right.
So what are some of the other statistics that you found concerning the E&O?
Well, Lezlee, I'm glad you asked, but 7% of claims is a failure to explain coverage.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say with the ring example, they buy the ring and they call and you tell them how much coverage is on their policy, but you neglect to tell them about the option of SPP and adding the full amount of the ring to the policy for premium. Maybe you forget, or maybe you just don't want to have the premium increase discussion. Either way, if that ring goes missing the next week and they find out about the SPP option, it could result in them filing a suit against the agency for neglect to bring up the SPP coverage option.
Yeah, well, and many people don't understand what the scheduled personal property is. And then you still have companies. I mean, if we were taking this video to other companies, I mean, like State Farm, theirs is usually a rider. It's a separate policy, but Allstate has that ease of just adding that right on to the policy, becomes a part of the policy. And many people still don't understand that the deductible doesn't apply, which is the great thing about scheduled personal property. I mean, what we put on there is what they get paid. So that's a good one. Very interesting. I think you had another statistic, right?
Yeah, 6% of E&O claims is failure to identify exposures. So we need to constantly be asking.
Yes, always asking. And that's a really good one, because I think what we see many times is within our agency, we brought this up a little bit in the last training class, is that oftentimes we feel like we're prying. You're prying into their personal, you're asking their, what's the ring worth? What's this? But really, we're in the business to protect. And the only way that we can protect is by asking the questions. And sometimes those are tough questions. But the main thing is, I think my message today is don't be afraid to ask. I mean, many times it's just how you ask. And most people are going to be appreciative that you're trying to do the right thing for them.
Right, Lezlee. And the other two biggies are the failure to recommend coverage and inaccurate or incomplete information to provide to the carrier. Both of these coming in at about 5% of the percentage of E&O claims.
It just seems like kind of a small number, but it's still important. I think that, and we all know, we've been in the agencies, you're still in, you see that day to day. It's just so busy. There's 1,000,001 things to do. And sometimes these are the little things that can fall through the crack, but they mean a lot. So, so share some, the last of your thoughts with our Allstate gang on these two, the two final areas, but what do let's wrap that up.
Well, really, they all roll into the same package about asking questions, understanding the risk, and the people that you talk to every day, helping them to understand that. And sticking with the ring example, the SPP coverage needs to be explained, and the appraisal needs to be accurate. That information needs to be provided to underwriting so that there's no misunderstandings, no miscommunication. The customer knows what the exact coverage is, and that will eliminate some of our claims issues.
Yeah. Well, and again, reiterating what we said last time was just communicating and being a part of that person's life is so important. That's why they want us as agents. And that's the fun part, is sharing the weddings and sharing the babies and being there for people. So all great information. Thank you so much, John, and for all your hard work for not only NAPA, but helping put these videos together. We're a little challenged technology wise. I am, you're not, but I appreciate you doing that.
Well, Lezlee, it was great talking to you today, and hopefully we've helped some agents.
I hope so. Thank you so much. And if you're not a member of NAPA, we highly encourage you during these times to join the support and our foundation. If you are a member and you've already donated to the foundation, we thank you very much for your support, because it's very important during this little bit of tough times and during the situation that we're that we're dealing with and helping the Allstate agent. So thanks, John, and have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.